And welcome. Come on in, man. Your boy G Bush is back. Man, listen, I'm feeling good to be back, man. For all those well wishers out there, for all the people that really held me down, and a lot of people reached out to me. I've been going for a couple of days here, dealing with some issues, and I'll just throw it out there really quickly. A lot of people don't know. I've had some issues with my health from old football injuries. So I've had neck surgery and back surgery because of football and different things like that. And I currently have 3 herniated discs still in my neck today that are not able to be operated on. So what happens is there's a lot of different complications that happen because of my neck injury from my C4, C5, C6, and C7. So sometimes from time to time, I lose, lose some feeling. I can't move sometimes, due to the injury or whatever. And also it does cause some different things as far as my breathing as well. So, and then this time, I have this thing where my vocal cords will swell and bleed. And I basically lose my voice. So it swells, it's very painful. I got to, take steroids, and, there's a procedure where they want to scrape your vocal cords or whatever the case may be. I'm like, I'm cool on that. We'll see how it goes. My mom is all about tea. So with that being said, man, I'm just happy to be back and moving, and my voice is back. My energy level is back up. And of course, we welcome back in the barbershop as always. We got a great show for you guys coming up. I'm going to get to some things that I saw that I was gone and I really want to touch on. And we also going to touch on some stuff as far as previewing this show for the week. I haven't even really given you my thoughts for last week because there was so many things going on, and then I was missed a couple days. I thought Joe Flacco played really, really well. I thought Joe Flacco was in the building. I thought he did his thing. So I'll give you your thoughts on Joe Flacco. I got some Deshaun Watson thoughts. Man, people is crazy. I don't know what's wrong with some of our fan base. We'll get to that as well. And don't forget, I'm going to give you an opportunity to win this shirt right here. My man, G Money, you see what it is. It is the King of the North holiday hoodie. As you can tell right now, it is, you see my man, G Money right there. This is the Grinch's cousin, right? So this is one of the fun holiday shirts, and we're going to give you an opportunity to win this very shirt that I got on right now, the King of the North Barbershop brand new release. We're going to give you an opportunity to win that here. Stay tuned and keep it locked. You'll be able to find out what's going on. But first, let's go ahead and dive right off into this, man. We'll be with you from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on the UCSS network. I'm really glad to be back. Hopefully all of you are having a great holiday. Hopefully all of you and friends and family getting together and doing some different things. So let's get right to it, man. Let's get to Joe Flacco. I thought Joe Flacco played very, 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 very well last week. I thought he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. And I was one of the big proponents of Joe Flacco coming in. And a lot of people were down on Joe Flacco, in terms of maybe his arm strength wasn't there. Maybe he wasn't the guy that could be mobile. Maybe. And I always hate this excuse. I hate this excuse that people give all the time. They always hit you with if Joe Flacco was so good, then somebody else would have picked him up. I don't go by that, man. I don't go by that. I thought Joe Flacco was a guy, and this is like a lot of things in our country. When you get to a certain age, they try to put you out the pasture, so to speak. They don't give you opportunities. You don't get the same level of opportunity or the upside that a young guy will have. Right now, DTR has the upside. I thought DTR played well, but the thing that's sticking in Browns fans' faces right now is the fact that DTR is a younger guy, and you can imagine what DTR is going to be in 3 years. You can look at game-to-game progression and talk about what you like better than what you liked, right? You could talk about all those things. And so I understand why there's a lot of people and a lot of fans out there, and I'm the one who coined the whole phrase, DTR. I was the one who gave him that name. So for me, the reason why I'm talking about this and the reason why I'm going to go ahead and give it to Joe Flacco and why he should be, and I'm making a case for why he should be the quarterback moving forward, is because, yes, DTR has a higher upside, but you can ramp Joe Flacco up much quicker. You can ramp Joe Flacco up a lot quicker than what you can DTR. There's some things you can add to the playbook with Joe Flacco that you can't add with DTR. There's some mistakes that DTR is going to make that Joe Flacco simply is not going to make just based on his experience level. And I thought you saw that the first couple of plays when the Cleveland Browns were playing the Rams. It's levels to this thing out here, bro. I mean, when he dropped back and threw that frozen rope to Amari Cooper, all the haters had to die. The haters died slowly and painfully when he threw that rock right there. Because he showed you two things. The arm is still there. Stop playing games with me. The fact that he could fit it into a small window, the fact that he was able to do it in a way where he could fit that between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. He did that. And the fact that he even knew what the coverage and the read was supposed to be when he did it. Right now, Kevin Stefanski is sitting here telling you, I don't know who's going to be the quarterback. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback. We don't know. Kevin Stefanski is not tipping his hand. But let me tell you why it's a foregone conclusion. First and foremost, I hate when people say this. People say this all the time. It's one of the cliches that I think should die slowly and painfully in the league. When people start talking about you need to go ahead and be able to plan and game plan for two specific quarterbacks. Let me tell you about a cat that when I played, they don't do that. That's a lie. Specifically, nobody is out there throwing and game planning for two separate quarterbacks. It just don't work that way. Think about it. What's the only thing different between a starting quarterback and a backup? Maybe the backup is a little more mobile. Maybe the backup, if he is mobile, you got a couple read option plays. Maybe you got a couple quarterback draws. Maybe you got some wildcat. All of that other stuff, it's a lot of different things that's overblown. And people talk about, we got like you acting like you spending a whole practice on one guy and a whole nother practice on another guy. You're not doing that because most quarterbacks in the league are going to run and throw and do some of the same stuff. Yes, was one quarterback maybe more mobile, but we know how to stop the read option. We know what you need to do against the Wildcat. We understand what you need to be doing on some of these quarterback runs. That's already in the book. So you're not spending all this extra time and it's some big thing strategy where we're not going to tell you. Come on, what's the difference between Trevor Lawrence and the backup Beathard? What's the difference if Trevor Lawrence can't run? Trevor Lawrence got a bad knee, a bad ankle. What's the difference between game planning between what he does and what the backup's going to do if Trevor Lawrence is not mobile? So that's just one little nuance that I think is overblown a lot. But one thing that you are going to do is that you see this game with your boy Joe Flacco is, and we'll talk about the All-22 coming up later on. The reason why you talk about Flacco and why you do want him to go out there is because when you look at the All-22, there's a couple of things that stand out. One of the things that stand out is he threw the ball out of bounds very quickly when there was nothing there. And this game plan was not very diverse. I mean, you look at the route combinations, you look at some of the concepts Stefanski had in his game, they weren't anything to write home about. They were just basically sit down, stick routes, high-low concepts where you try to put, middle linebackers and safeties in conflict between a shallow cross or a deep dig or something like that. There wasn't anything crazy in this concept. It wasn't any crazy type runs or anything like that. It was pretty much vanilla, bread and butter, random vanilla offense. It's like when you play Madden and you say, what offensive playbook you want? And you just said balanced. Just said balanced on there. But the one thing that Joe Flacco was going to do, and I think, he had one mistake, and that one mistake was a big mistake, by the way. The interception was a bad mistake. I think he wants that back. He told you he wanted that back. And that was a bad throw. But if you can eliminate that type throw and you can get you two more throws like the one he threw to Elijah Moore on the sideline, or that rope he threw to Amari Cooper, if you can get a couple more of those are the plays that you're looking for. Those are the plays that you can get. And one of the things that I'm looking specifically on is the play action game is now alive and well back in the mix, boys and girls. Boys and girls, the play action game is live and well. Now, I encourage all of you, right? I encourage you. If you're into deep dives, first thing I do is I go down and I look at the all 22. And then I always go over to Jake Burns, the Orange and Brown Report. He's been on the Barbershop Radio Show, had him on last week. I think he does a really good job of breaking down different types of plays and different type of concepts so that you can digest it from each week. I highly suggest you go to his channel, subscribe to it. Shout out to Jake. He shows in his breakdowns, he shows a great deal of some of the things and differentiates between play action and run action. Run action is where, yes, you're running a fake to the fake to a running back, right? But up front, the offensive linemen are still run blocking, right? That's run action. Play action is when it is a fake to the running back, but now your offensive lineman is pass blocking. So he does a great job of displaying it and the differentiating between the two. And the reason it's so important for the Browns is you look at this receiving corps. Amari Cooper's had issues with drops, and he's not getting vertical on anybody. Elijah Moore has not gotten vertical on too many people. You got a receiving corps that is more possession-type receivers. And the reason play action is so very important is because when Joe Flacco runs that play action, now it gives you 1 or 2 seconds for a linebacker to have to respect it and have to play the run. Now you say that's not a big deal. It's only 1 or 2 seconds, or maybe a step or half a heartbeat. That half a step, half a heartbeat, that right there gives your receivers an ample point of time to get downfield and to create separation. There's a couple of ways you can create separation. You could create it by yourself off the line of scrimmage. You could create it vertically by your hands and getting on top as a receiver when the ball's in there. Or you can manufacture some of that separation between your misdirection plays, your motion plays coming back and forth, your pick plays, and most recognizable is the play action fake. When you got that play action fake, you gotta respect it. You're gonna get a 1 or 2 steps by the linebackers. Now you could be over the top of the ball and create different places at different levels and trajectory in the voids. To me, moving forward, Joe Flacco is the obvious choice. I think he's going to play well in this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he's going to throw for over 270 yards in this game, and I think this is a game the Cleveland Browns must have. It's a must win. I said it on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. This is a super duper duper must have. You got another blessing for the football gods. You got another opportunity to play a team at home without their franchise quarterback. I feel a lot better at about 8-5 than I do at 7-6. Let's go right to some of the commentary. We get back to you guys. Let's get it. Super chat, my man. Hey, James Cosby, I apologize for my post. Don't apologize, man. Let me tell y'all something right here. Let me let y'all know. I don't take nothing crazy serious out here. Look, we're supposed to be, as Browns fans, being able to come out here and have a positive discourse on what you feel. I'm emotional as they come. If you talk to me after the game, I'll be on one. I'm sorry. I'll be mad. I'll be upset. Because, like, yeah, you're supposed to be. But here's the great thing about it. Like, we all family, right? We all, and when I say we all family, we all want the same outcome. No matter who's at coach, no matter who's playing, no matter who's the quarterback. We want to win football games. So for me, I'm always into having a dialogue. That's why I always say the barbershop ain't for everybody. Because when you come over here, you can't get butt hurt. You come over here, we talk the talk. We talk about some things over here. But when we leave, I've always said, don't take my word for nothing. Don't take my word for nothing. You ain't got to agree with me all the doggone time. Like, listen, I always tell people in life, do your own research, go out, figure out what you think is right, or do your homework on all 22, formulate your own, opinion, and to be able to talk about it. At the end of the day, that's all I want. It's good discourse when it comes to the Browns. Sometimes you're going to agree with me, sometimes you ain't. But it's all about how you do it, and you do it respectfully and be able to come back and come together and still have a common goal, and that's to see the Cleveland Browns host that trophy. Apologize for my post last Sunday. I was salty losing 2 straight games. I want to see that fire and intensity of Sunday. Keep inspiring us, G. Bush. I appreciate you guys out, man. Appreciate you right there for coming back and popping up, man. It's looking like Lawrence is going to play. I feel like, Shad, I think that's a smokescreen. I feel like that's a smokescreen. You know why? Because I saw him, right? I'm looking at him, and I'm watching him play. I ain't see him sprint. I ain't see him do a lot of different things. My thing is, if you're the Cleveland Browns, you shouldn't even care about that. If you're the Cleveland Browns of the top, I would say the first 4 weeks of the season, it didn't matter who you was playing. They need to have that same level of energy where they don't care who they playing. When they was playing the 49ers, they didn't care. When Joe Burrow was out there, they didn't care. If Trevor Lawrence is out there and it's wet and it's raining and these guys got to have it, the Browns got to get after them. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. The Browns, I need them to see that intensity. I need to see that back again. And by the way, bring some blitzes too. Bring some blitzes, man. David Smith, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, man. Hey, Mark Ross, I appreciate you pulling up. Let's go. Flacco, let's go. Flacco throwing for 279, 3 touchdowns. Moore's going to get 115 in the touchdown. I activated Elijah Moore off the pine on my fantasy team. I think I practice what I preach. I'm putting him back in the game, Coach. 98 people here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the like button. I should have 98 likes. If it's 98 people here, it's 98 likes. Hey, drowning in music, Garrett needs 2 sacks. I thought Myles Garrett's energy was a little bit better in his press conference. I was watching the press conference a little bit. I thought his energy was much, 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 much better than it was the last couple of days. I definitely thought, he was, and you know what they're going to tell him? Jim Schwartz going to tell you, stop feeling sorry for yourself. I know you out here hurt. I know you out here injured, but we got to get quarterbacks on the ground. And I think Jim Schwartz does a really good job of making sure that he keeps that level of enthusiasm up. Because after these last 2 games, they need it. They need it. Scott, more than have butt cheeks, or the one pass would have been incomplete. You're right, man. He had to get the slim cheeks in there. Pause. Why in hell name Joe name start quarterback on Sunday? I don't know what that means. I think he had a couple typos. Hey, as far as I know, Kevin hasn't said anything about Sunday. He hasn't said anything, but I would expect Joe Flacco to be one of the guys. I expected him to be there. Protect Automotive, the D needs to get back, and how they play early this year. Could not agree more. Couldn't agree more. All right, when we get back, we're going to get to another topic here. When we get back, I'm going to talk about something. What's up with Browns fans, man? Like, it's getting weird. It's getting weird. I was gone for a couple of days, and all of a sudden, I look up on Twitter, and Deshaun Watson is, like, trending. And I'm like, well, what is he trending about? I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen what they was talking about. We'll get to that coming back. It's G. Bush here on the UCSS Network. As always, man, we want to tell you, if you want to get a haircut, if you want to get a clean cut and you in Ohio, you in Lakewood, go ahead and see my man Jason over at Phenomenal Barbershop in Lakewood. You could book your very own appointment, 216-385-8861. Address is 11827 Detroit Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio, 44107. Go down there. Great football atmosphere, great sports atmosphere. It's family friendly. Great barbershop. They don't do a lot of cursing. They don't do anything crazy. They will talk your ear off about some sports. And they do got, your wife can get taken care of there. They got the beauty salon there as well. Kids, it's kid friendly, family friendly. It's a great atmosphere. Big time Browns fan. Shout out to Jason. And if you want to get hooked up and you want to know where I go to get my hair cut, holler at my man Jason at Phenomenal Barbershop. 105 people in here. If you stay tuned. I'm going to give you an opportunity. 555. This weekend, I'm giving out 5 of these hoodies. Holiday hoodies, as you see it, is G Money right here. Let me put that way. G Money right here. You see it? King of the North right here. We got the Pittsburgh Squealers. We got the Baltimore Ratbirds. We got the Cincinnati Bungles. And, of course, you go this way, you get the barbershop. We got the stadium back there, the trophy, G Money, King of the North, holiday sweater. This one is a great one. This is a stocking stuffer. You can get this for grandparents. You can get this for everybody. I'm going to give away 5 of these joints this weekend, and we're gonna start with this show. Well, make sure you catch us on the post-game show where we give away a couple more. So stay tuned. We're gonna give you in a couple of minutes how to win and get this same hoodie that I got on right now. So let's get back to it. People is telling on themselves with the Deshaun Watson commentary. It's starting to show it's starting to be very evident that with the Deshaun Watson situation, people haven't been privy in their locker rooms. People haven't played the game. People haven't, some of these comments and off-kilter stuff that I'm getting, it's just ridiculous. It just goes to show you that there's a lot of people that have opinions about football that just don't have that much in-depth knowledge and the working knowledge of what goes on in the locker room. And I felt personal about that. I didn't take it personally, but for me as a guy who's had, close to almost 20 surgeries, take it with Bernie Kosar as well. And Bernie comes on and talks about the wellness and you matter and different things like that. And some of you take that as like, funny, ha. But one of the things is when you've gone under the knife and you've had them surgeries and you live with the effects of playing football in your early 40s into your 50s, into your 60s, that you deal with the rest of your life. A lot of people, not you people specifically, but a lot of people take that for granted. They're just guys that like watching the fantasy football team and want these guys to go out there and play like it's like you're cattle or something. And I've had surgery, right? And people don't understand how emotionally draining it is and emotionally taxing as far as the physical goes as well, to know that you have a grueling 9 months, 10 months, 11 months full of just rehab, just not being with your teammates and you just getting it back to base level where you can go out and perform a sport, not knowing if you ever going to be able to perform the same way you used to, understanding your mortality, dealing with aches and pains the rest of your life that nobody understands. And so for people to sit up there and try to make a situation out of something with Deshaun Watson sitting in a booth is the corniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And when you bring up stuff like that, you tell on yourself. You tell people you don't know what it is to be in a locker room. You tell people you don't even know what it is to be hurt from playing the game. You tell on yourself because nobody is saying that. Why would somebody, I don't know if you've been on a sideline before. I have. And I've been on the sideline after surgery. It's one of the worst places you could be. There's cameramen, there's officials, there's coaches that get ran into all the time because the game moves that fast. If you haven't seen a pile of guys running at you and you on crutches, you wouldn't know the feeling, because I've had it a couple of times. And the ridiculous part about it is you're equating that because what Joe Burrow was on the sideline doing, it's Deshaun Watson should be doing the same thing. Listen, y'all not slick. Let's just be clear. Let's just cut to the chase. Y'all not slick. You don't care nothing about whether Deshaun Watson is on that field with his teammates. You don't care about that. You are trying to find your I gotcha moment. Oh, look at that. Look at Deshaun. He doesn't look happy. Why the hell would he be happy? He probably doped up off pain medication. His arm is aching, and he's watching his team where he feels like he could be in there. Why would he be happy? He is miserable. He's probably figuring out all these months of rehab. He's thinking in his head, could I do something wrong, different to keep myself healthy? He's thinking about a bunch of stuff. But you want to put the camera on him so you can make a narrative out of something. And you get mad because people won't give you the ammunition to make a narrative. By the way, he was on the field pregame. By the way, the team told him not to go down there. I already done talked to Mary Kay. So my thing is, and people say, well, G. Bush, don't make too much of it. Listen, you're corny. Like, and all it is, and it'll be, and somebody told me, oh, just calm down. No, I'm not going to just calm down, because here's my problem with a lot of people in our fan base. The Cleveland Browns is in the middle of a playoff chase. The Cleveland Browns is in the middle of doing something special with 4 or 5 different quarterbacks, a ragtag group of people, and guys is filing in all in on what we're trying to do on the field. And instead of you watching what goes on the field, this has always been my problem. Instead of you watching what's on the field, grading what's on the field, trying to understand what's on the field, you only understand gossip. When did that become cool? I'm trying to figure it out. When did gossip about a dude who hasn't played and is not going to play the rest of the season, when you have a playoff chase going, when did that become cool? Also, you can say, I told you so, or he isn't worth the money, or C3. I mean, these guys are incredible. It is incredible. I didn't know grown men that send their children to school every single day with their book bag and homework will come home, get on Twitter, and start tweeting like 14-year-old girls in middle school. It's just whack. It's corny. Does it hurt anything? No. Does it change anything? No. I keep saying it. You can say all you want. 230, this, and that, these picks, this, that. It ain't changing nothing. Deshaun Watson is your quarterback at least for the next 3 years. You can add it up, you can subtract it, do whatever you want. But I suggest you watch the games, because there's something cool going on out there. It's something beautiful going on out there. It's called a team game with team guys out there working, fighting for a higher level. It's the collective identity of the guys. That's what's going on out there. And you're missing it because you just want to gossip. You're missing it so you can say, I told you so. These type of things don't come around very often. I would hate for you to look one way, turn around, and guess what? It's gone. Let's get to some of your comments. Maybe I'm crazy. 136, hit the like button, man. 136 in here. Hit the like button. All right, where y'all at, man? Let's see. Hey, man, what's up, man? I see you out there, man. I see you, man. Hey, what up, J-Dog66? What's good? How y'all doing? My man G. Bush keeps it real. I got to keep it. There's only one way I do it. I got to keep it real. The whole Deshaun Watson not on the sideline conundrum is stupid. I was watching UCSS, and I was just like, oh no, they didn't. Mikey, don't do it. McNuggets, don't do it. Like, I think Anthony was producing. I just didn't. I didn't get it, man. I just didn't, and it just was like, all right, like you talking about a man, and my thing is, it wouldn't even have been that bad. But if you was so worried about that, where's Jack Conklin at then? I don't need Jack Conklin on the sidelines. That's not how it works. Guys on the sideline is locked into what they're supposed to be locked in. We don't need to see. Let me just see. We don't need to see Deshaun Watson on the sidelines. I'm locked into what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to understand my plays. There's dogs out there that's trying to take my career from me. They out here, there's wolves out here that I got to go tackle with my bare hands. And you telling me like I'm going to get something from some moral? Stop. We're not even looking for Deshaun Watson. Ain't nobody in that locker room looking for him. Nick Chubb, Conklin, McLeod, anybody that's hurt don't matter. Let me just give you that. That's the mentality they got on that field. If they ain't out there, sorry. I got to worry about what I'm doing. I got to worry about what I'm talking about. I see you. Wasn't that ridiculous that people commenting on Watson being at the game in a lodge? That's crazy, man. Terrell Glenn, ignorance is bliss. They don't know what else to do but hate. But when when Kenny Pickett isn't on the sideline yesterday, it's cricket. Because here's the thing, Terrell, they don't care about that. See, they think they smarter than people. They think y'all think y'all smart. They ain't, the media and some of these haters ain't that smart. They're just not into it. Because here's the reality of it. They don't care about nobody else but him. Where's Aaron Rodgers at? He's on Pat McAfee. They didn't worry about him. It's just the fact that they want to catch him looking like he's discomforted, looking like he's hating, looking like he's scared that Flacco has his job, just trying to find a mean shot of his face so they can say, here, look at this. Look how Deshaun, he's still 230 and he's still not doing. Listen, he don't got to do nothing for y'all. Sometimes you tell him like this. And this is the way I think of it. I don't eat birthday cake with none of these dudes. I don't cash none of their checks. I don't care how much they make. At the end of the day, it's about what I'm doing and how I'm moving. You can hate all you want. Deshaun gonna keep that 230. He gonna have a nice, huge house. He's gonna live comfortable the rest of his life. And I don't got no time to be sitting there hating on stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the field. Let's keep it pushing. With that being said, when we get back, this is the thing. I'm going to tell you what I've seen in the All-22. I've seen a couple of things. I'm going to start coming on here doing this for y'all because sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle. I'm going to give you an offensive theme and a defensive theme for the All-22. And coming up, get this ready. I want to see it. Me and my brother was talking about it the other day because Christmas is coming up and it's fastly approaching. And we're going to ask you, what is a Christmas gift that you wanted, that you tried to sell your soul for? You just asked Santa, you asked your parents, you asked everybody, and you never quite got it. Never quite got the gift that you missed. I got a couple of them I'm scarred by. We'll talk about it coming up. It's G. Bush here on the UCSS Network. As always, I told you I'm going to give you an opportunity. 143 people in here, and here it is. You can enter into a free contest to get the King of the North G Money holiday hoodie. Look, I got the black one on right now. As you see throughout the show, this is the G Money green right here. You ready to go? This is one of the limited edition joints. This is only going to be here for coming up into the top of the year. So if you want to get this, you can wear this for your ugly holiday sweaters. If you want to get this, you can get this at bushlinebeauty.com, bushlinebeauty.com/the barbershop. And if you specifically want to get entered into this in our situation, into the free drawing, subscribe to our website, bushlinebeauty.com, and get a chance to win a free G Money holiday hoodie courtesy of the barbershop. Deadline to subscribe It's 12/11/23 at 12 a.m. We're going to be giving 5 of these hoodies to people who subscribe to the channel. We're going to be able to do that. Make sure you go over there. It's completely free. All you got to do is subscribe to www.bushlinebeauty.com. We will be picking at random 5 lucky people to get one of the G Money holiday hoodies. They are very limited. Only going to be putting these out until January. Great for picnics. Great for holiday parties. You may got an ugly sweater party. Maybe you're volunteering at your kid's classroom. They'll get a kick out of it. And if you don't happen to win one of these, it's simple. You go over to bushlinebeauty.com/barbershop and go copy one. Very affordable. And guess what? If you sign up, we're already giving you 15% off. Look at that. Going on there right now and go ahead and cop that. And it's all courtesy of G Bush and the barbershop. All right, we right back at it, man. Make sure you guys go check that out. Let's get to this, man. All 22. If you don't know, and I think this is a really good exercise for a lot of people. I think it's a beautiful exercise for anybody in the industry. A lot of people call me, hit me up, say, G Bush, what can I do to differentiate myself? What can I do to get on? What can I do? I think this is a huge part of what any analyst should be doing. And you should challenge people. And if you should favorite analysts, you should challenge them that they are watching the film. I don't believe in sportscasters running around believing that their opinion is higher than everybody else's when they're not putting that work in. If you want to be a regular guy, if you want to be a regular person that watches the game, that makes you a civilian. What makes your opinion higher than mine when you just watch the regular telecast, right? I believe you should be checking out the all 22, learning the game, learning the concepts, because every week that I turn it on, I find a new concept. Every week I turn it on, I find something new I learn about the game of football. And football is it's an easy game, and people sometimes overcomplicate it. But the best thing about football is every single time I watch, I learn something new about it. And I watch all 22 breakdowns from not only our perspective, but the perspective of the people we playing. So all 22 is something that I think everybody should watch. And I think you gain a higher level of perspective of what the game is when you do that. So with that being said, I took a look at the all 22 like I always do. And I saw 2 major themes that came out of that game for me. 2 major themes that I thought about with the all 22. And let's start defensively. Defensively, the Browns do not handle motion very well. The Rams utilize motion with Puka Nacua. They utilize motion with Cooper Kupp. They utilize motion back and forth. Nowadays, you see guys go in motion to identify whether it's man or whether it's zone coverage. They go in coverage, come back. Go in coverage again, then they snap the ball. So now, if you are in man coverage, you got your defensive back running back and forth. And if they snap the ball, they can run really quick outgoing routes. They can run really quick pick routes, little slants, different things like that get their receivers with the ball in their hand with momentum because they're coming off motion and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 easy yards. I mean, you watch that Rams game, and Sean McVay is scheming open. He's scheming open these plays where it's 10 free yards because your linebacker, whoever's in man coverage, is just he doesn't know. Listen, he doesn't know where he's going. He's trailing on the play. They snap the ball quick, throw the ball. Now that's his man. I saw Anthony Walker being victimized by that. Saw JOK being victimized of it, and Greg Newsome was definitely a big victim of that quick slant pass game. And so when you watch it, you start to see a pattern. You're starting to see less and less teams staying very vanilla and being frontal with the Cleveland Browns defense. What does that mean? They're not going to line up in basic base formations and say, we're going to take you on head-to-head, because they know they can't do that. So now what you've started to see is teams that have been successful The Baltimore Ravens in misdirection. You take a look at the Rams in misdirection. You take a look at some of the misdirection Seattle did. Now, all of a sudden, the teams are lining up and doing more of the stealth type stuff, quick stuff that gets people out of positions, pick routes, things like that. And when you're playing man coverage, those are very difficult to stop. Very difficult. So that's the adjustment that teams are making. You're starting to see that a lot more. You saw that against the Rams. And moving forward, the Browns are going to see a consistent dose of that. They're also having very difficult problems dealing with read option and reverse plays, jet reverse plays, really quick hitting jet plays where the receivers coming in motion, hand it to him, and now he's one-on-one with the defensive end. Too many times we're seeing Myles Garrett, and he's as athletic as they come, crash down, play runs right by him. Play run right. I saw Alex Wright almost break his own ankles. Alex Wright was unblocked, and the jet motion guy came back and reversed so quickly on that quick handoff that he almost fell down. It was 20 yards. The holding play that they had where Juan Thorhill got the holding play, which was questionable. I don't know what he was looking at. He's looking at engage with somebody. I'm like, go up and make the tackle. There's something off with these tackles, the defensive ends and the safeties. And I'd be willing to wager that the defensive ends have I guess a two-way go. And I talked about this earlier in the year when you talk about looking at Schwartz, and one of the things that he does is he gives the leeway to his defensive ends to say, you got a two-way go, you could go in or out. You don't need to contain. And then on the back end, he expects the linebackers or the safety to make him right. Basically saying if Myles Garrett goes up and under, and he goes under a block, that means the safety or the linebacker have to feel accordingly off of him, which means that they have to feel outside. And it just seems like they're not communicating, and they don't have that. Defensive, they gotta shore that up, because you're gonna see a nice dose of that moving forward as well. Offensively, here's what I saw. The offense was very basic, very vanilla, and I think it was that way because Joe Flacco had only been here a week. I think if you do continue to start Flacco, you'll start to see some more of the other stuff, like other teams are running. The Browns are getting taxed with the motion stuff. I listen, Stefanski should run some of that stuff too. I mean, we got to get with the times. I haven't seen very many pick plays. I haven't seen any rub routes. I haven't seen any of your deep over routes. I haven't seen a lot of different concepts from, whip routes, quick stuff on the goal line. I haven't seen those routes. And I think it's because, it's a twofold problem. I think Kevin Stefanski just hasn't had an opportunity to get accustomed to what his quarterbacks are liking to do or comfortable with, because you switching quarterbacks every week. But coming up, I just think that you have to be a little bit more creative, a little bit more. Look at that fourth down play where David Njoku just basically sits down on, I think it's a 4th and 4 play. He just sits down on a button hook. That's not going to get it done. That's not it. I would like to see more diversity with that, more innovation. But here's the thing. I'm not crazy. I do understand that the Browns are playing a little bit behind the sticks, so to speak. So I'll give them that. But I noticed playbook was a little vanilla, basic routes. Thing that jumped off the screen for me was I thought that Joe could make those throws. I think Joe showed you in that game he could make bigger throws. And I think he's shown a bandwidth that they can have a more I guess, creative run pass option in some of their concepts. All right. So we'll get to you guys. What do you guys say? We'll get to some of your comments right here. Yeah, he said, Kevin said explicitly that he's not naming anyone until Sunday because he don't have to. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. It's crazy, man. This is crazy. Hey, man, this is huge, man. Hey, man, shout out to you, Firebird Entertainment. Let me show you that, man. Listen, that's big. I don't know if we've ever gotten one like that before on this channel, but that's a $99 pledge right there. Shout out to the Firebird Entertainment. Well, I appreciate you pulling up on us like that. Hey, G, I always appreciate your honest reflections as another person who's had health problems, cancer, cardiac arrest. Stay strong. Go Browns. Happy holidays. My man, hey, listen, you keep fighting. You keep doing you. And keeping each other up in prayer, keeping each other up, and keeping your spirits high, man. I want to thank you for your donation, and I want to say blessings to you and your entire family throughout the holidays, and thank you for your generous donation, as always. Wally Ahmad says, never got Tecmo Bowl video game. You listen, that's one. We're gonna revisit that. We're going to revisit that. Coming up, right? Coming up, we're going to do that. We're going to revisit that. Hey, listen, G, so this is a great question. G, I got to ask, is your email profile picture a blind woman? I'll be emailing you, but I'm not sure if it's the right one. So let me do this. So back in the day, this is crazy. So back in the day, I used to do I used to do websites for companies, right? And so what they used to do is they used to merge people's accounts so that we can be like, if I'm doing some work on their website, I could show my work to the owner. And it was an owner of a women's gym. And basically that was her profile. So when they combined or shared our profile where we could go back and correspond with one another, somehow, some way, that doggone picture of a blonde emoji lady just stayed. It was the name of the gym was Lady Super Fitness, right? And so basically that picture, which was the owner's picture of her emoji, just kind of got merged. And from now on, I've always had that little blonde emoji, and I cannot figure out how to get it away or get it off, because when I go to it, it's another picture. So yes, that's a long story short, right? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. That is my emoji picture. If somebody out there knows how to get rid of that, hit me up. You get me up at gbush91@hotmail.com, and I will definitely do so. Let me see. Haters gonna be haters. My man 32 Cup says Kenny Pickett wasn't on the field. Nobody said nothing about that. They're not. Right? Yeah, Vernell Jackson is pathetic. Let's see, man. You got that right, G. You got to enjoy it while you can. I've been around to see the Sype era and the Kozar era, and those were the best years of football years. Sign me up for the ride. Yeah, man. Don't look. Listen, and I've learned. You know what I'm saying? I sometimes I can be emotional, and sometimes I go on Twitter or whatever, and I'll be emotional, and I don't get too far into it no more. All right, because I know people gonna do what people gonna want to do. And by the way, if Deshaun Watson wins the Super Bowl, you won't be able to find one person who didn't love the trade. You won't be able to find one person who said any bad words about him. I always knew Deshaun was the guy. I always knew it, G. Bush. G. Bush, what's up from Raleigh, North Carolina? What's up, Johnny? Go Browns. Shout out to them. We got people down there in Charlotte, man. Yeah. Christopher, people looking for an excuse to sham DW4 to keep up with the narrative about it. And the crazy part about it is we didn't see none of these narratives when he went into Baltimore and won. You didn't see that. That's because, look, and let me just tell y'all this right now. That's what it's going to be moving forward. Now, all of a sudden, after he goes in there, the whole city is sad when he get injured. He had one of the best games, 14-14. And all of a sudden, it's one or two that just start seeping this little, well, we really don't know if he's still going to be good. Well, we still haven't got our questions. Well, we still don't know if he's the guy. They be doing that. They be doing that to sell these papers, to get these clicks, and it is what it is. Yes, man. God bless you, Firebird. I am fight cancer myself right now, man. J-Dog 66, man. We appreciate you, man. And we appreciate everybody out there that's fighting these battles. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep each other lifted up. You got to keep encouraging one another. And that's what I be saying. This is a great format. This is a great platform where like-minded people come to root for something, man. I'm excited for the holidays. I'm excited. There's a lot of people out here in this country that may not have no more children, or their children live in another different place, or may live by themselves, or maybe over here that have lost friends and loved ones, and they feel like they're isolated. This is a great opportunity for everybody to meet and come on here and have a good time and talk about the Browns and forget about some of the crazy stuff. That's what it is about. That's what it's about. So that's why, man, look, y'all keep me going, man. I was down and out 3 days. I couldn't wait to get back, because we get back on here and talk our talk. Let's go, man. So we continue to roll on here. Let's get it. We got one more break. Here. Actually, I ain't even going to break. I don't got nothing else to talk about. I'm gonna just get to this one. Because we've done. Where we at? No, here we go. Let's get to this one. I promised y'all. I did promise you guys. What Christmas gift really is hurting your soul that you never got? I know some bitter people out there like me. I know some people that's still hating, still stewing, that they didn't get a specific thing for Christmas. Didn't get it. I got two things, and I'm gonna go to the chat. What Christmas gifts you never got from your childhood still haunts you to this day? Let me tell you about this, as I can't hear myself. The first thing that comes to mind is my parents were very strict. I wouldn't say they were very strict, but there's a couple of things that they didn't believe in. One of them is like fighting games. Like, they're just like, no fighting games. Now, granted, I could understand if you didn't want Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is kind of crazy right now. Like, I'm watching Mortal Kombat and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's kind of more, the new Mortal Kombat is crazy. They got fatalities. They be having 96,000 ways to die. It'd be blood, it'd be gory, all that good stuff. Right? I could understand if some parents don't want their kids doing a lot of really first-person shooter type stuff. I get it. But I was addicted to Street Fighter. I wanted to play with Ken and Ryu. It wasn't bloody like Mortal Kombat. And it came out on a Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. I was old, 12, 13 years old. I understood there was a difference between fighting in real life and fighting on a video game, and there wasn't even no blood. But they vetoed it. Vetoed the Street Fighter. All my friends, they had the Street Fighter. I had to go to their house and play it because I didn't have it at the home. I didn't have it at the homestead. I got waxed. I was waxed at every friend's house. I was the butt of all jokes. I was the guy you got your money off. Guys was doing supers on me, special moves, resetting me, special moves, kicking me in the face, in the teeth, throwing me all over the place. All because my parents would not let me get Street Fighter. I don't understand. If I'm old enough to take the trash out in the winter, if I'm old enough to do slave labor in the summer by cutting multiple lawns and grasses for all family members, I should be old enough to see Street Fighter. Needless to say, I've created a complex. Now, I got Street Fighter, the arcade, literally in my basement. Took that, just bought the whole arcade. Anything that I didn't get back then, I get it now. My wife still don't understand. She'd be like, why are you crying? I'm like, it's because you understand. You don't understand how I wanted this game and I couldn't get it. I get it now. And don't you dare try to stop me. There's nothing you could do about it. Oh, man, y'all crazy, man. Hey, man. You should try to get Colin Keith. You should try to get My mom's actually here. My mom is actually here. She's hey, do you want to say hi or something? You come say hi. Yeah, hey, she's denying that I didn't get Street Fighter. She's like, really? She's like, you're gonna throw me under the bus? You're gonna throw me under the bus? That's funny. She just happened to be here. I'm like, I need to get a lock on that door. Shout out to my mom. To give his opinion on the Browns D to get back on track. Thank you for the super chat. I'd love to do that. Shout out to Nate Clemens. I'm gonna reach out to McNuggets to see that. All right, here we go. Let me get this banner off here. I was hurt. I still was hurt about the Street Fighter. Hurt my soul. She wouldn't let me get it. It is what it is, man. She just oh, let me see this. All right, here we go. Let me get a couple more people in here. That never got Tecmo Bowl video game. Now, listen, I'm gonna give my mom credit. Where she failed with Street Fighter, she got Tecmo Bowl correct. We got the Tecmo Bowl. That Tecmo Bowl was great. That Tecmo Bowl was great. They keep winning this year. I can't wait for the Netflix special. Hey, I can't either. Daniel G told you I was going full Njoku at SoFi. Hope you saw the Browns socials took the reel down. I did see that. There's like, no, give me that. Give me that. Let's see. Prime PSP. Dontavius Witten. My little brother wanted that. He wanted that PSP so bad, and I tried to tell him, like, all you're gonna do is play Sonic on there. You can't play two players, bro. Can't play. Sega Genius. Virtual Cop. Drowning in music, you just took me back 20 years, 30 years. Sega Genius, that's crazy. I wanted that Virtual Boy for Nintendo. Daniel, that was fire back then. That virtual joint, that was fire, wasn't it? G. Bush, the Street Fighter movie with Van Damme was trash. Oh, it was one of the worst of all time. Blanca was crazy. And Bison, and then they made DJ in that movie for some reason bad. I don't know why. I don't know why they made DJ bad. Renell Jackson, laughing at something. Only thing I didn't get was a Green Machine. I didn't get that either. I didn't get that either. Let's see. What else we got? And Wally said, I never saw my Browns beat Elway and go to the Super Bowl. That was one of my Christmas wishes. That's a beautiful one. And guess what? They still don't be winning in Denver. Went up to Denver. I don't like nothing about Colorado at all. I don't like nothing there. They did be up there taking L's. With that being said, man, make sure you go today. Make sure you go today, subscribe at Bushline Beauty to get in a drawing for one of these hoodies. I will be back. We'll be giving out some more hoodies. Watch the post-game show. Make sure you watch them. Make sure you're watching the 2-minute warning post-game show, the hottest post-game show in the game, in the city, most views, bar none. We get it done big time. We had over 47,000 views on one of our post games recently. Make sure you're watching that. I'm going to give away a couple more hoodies on that one. Make sure you check that one out. And by the way, coming up next week, I forgot to do this. But we're going to get it in. Behind the Glass. Make sure you check out Behind the Glass. Earl, Mikey, and Anthony on Behind the Glass. They usually come out on Wednesdays. Make sure you support that. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button so you're notified when G. Bush goes on, when Earl and Behind the Glass goes on, when 2-minute warning go on, and obviously the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. With all that being said, you know your boy G. Bush be out here moving around. Thank you for your well wishes. Happy holidays, and we'll be back at it Monday, coming up here on the UCSS YouTube channel. With that, you never know where I'm gonna pull up. I might pull up with gifts. I might pull up. I might be somewhere else. But guess what? You can always know where I'm going to show up at by listening for the Clippers. Peace.